Yo, what's going on, boys? I'm going to share with you the exact system that I built, specifically email marketing system that helped me generate 35% of the total revenue for my own fashion brand. And this was around $2.5 million, just to let you know, before I exited. Now, this allowed me to be featured in the newspaper, Yorkshire Evening Post, allowed me to go on CEO Cast, which is one of the biggest business podcasts on YouTube. It allowed me to do collabs with eBay. It allowed me to buy all the stock that I needed, get all the camera equipment, get all of the stuff that I needed to grow my business, and it unlocked cash flow for my business. And I did this without increasing any ad spend, mostly done with automations and without sending any shit emails that nobody wants, which is what most fashion brands do. Now, there's a little story with this. I didn't just know about email and e-commerce to this level straight away, right? In this photo right here, I am in Germany, okay? I'm in Germany, I have a website live, I'm running maybe a very tiny amount of paid ads, not really doing any email marketing at all. Now, I felt like a G, okay? I've got thousands of euros in cash, I'm traveling to Germany so I can make more money. I'm going and I'm buying stuff to make more money, right? Well, at this very time, look at this guy. He hasn't got a beard. That's a young man right there, yeah? A young, clueless man. And at this time, my klaviyo account was doing around 12% of total revenue. And email marketing doesn't work. Yeah, I'm one of those guys, right? And that was actually a part of my vocabulary. And I didn't know how to increase revenue. I didn't know what emails to send. And I didn't know how important it was. So the fact that I was just thinking of random emails off the top of my head, and then I was creating everything myself, it meant that one, I was sending emails inconsistently, so there was no method, and two, I wasn't using an actual strategy as part of my email marketing. Now, this is the problem right here, right? Because email should be responsible for 30 to 60% of total revenue. Look, guys, that's going to change. There's no way you can say like, oh, your email revenue should be here. Depending on what you're selling, you know, the price of product you sell, so your average order value is going to have a big difference, right? My average order value is around $220. So, you know, it's not going to be up until that 60%, depending on what market that you're in. But nevertheless, even if it's on the low end at 25, 30%, that is a huge chunk of revenue. And my business, it was tight for cash, and I'm going to fucking Germany to make more sales, right? But my email account's doing 12% of revenue. So I don't need to travel to Germany and pay for a hotel and pay for someone else's flight and get someone else to come out there with me and take loads of cash and go to Manchester airport. I didn't need to do any of that. I just needed to fix my emails. The smartest move and the easier move and the more lucrative move is to fix my emails. That's all I needed to do. Not messing around going to Germany, right? So I'm treating this huge chunk of revenue in my business as an afterthought. Okay, now 30 to 60% isn't an afterthought, right? It's essential for the growth of your business. It's essential for your ability to buy more products. It's essential for the ability to go hire more staff, hire an agency, whatever you need to do. It is essential. There's no ways around that. This isn't some little number, little 1%. This is a massive, massive chunk. So I started studying email marketing, and I realized the first thing wrong with my account is that I was sending emails that weren't getting delivered, right? Now, I had a deliverability issue. I was on the wrong package. That was causing me to look at 12% of email revenue and thinking, this isn't really a channel that's worth it for me. So when I fixed that, I made an extra $2,000 that month in revenue, right? And that's not a lot of money, but an extra $2,000 a year, I mean, it's another 24 grand a year, even just that. And I made that straight away without even sending another email. That was with all the already shit system that I had set up. That made me an extra $2,000. So this was like a huge light bulb moment. This made me realize, like, wow, the reason why it's not working is because I've not put time into it. Number one, and number two, my emails have not been working properly. So I realized and started looking into it at a very deep level. And my next realization, it was the true function of the campaign and the automation flows, because I didn't really understand it, right? So this is how, in a nutshell, email marketing works. So you've got your core automations, which is stuff like welcome flow, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, post-purchase flow. Now, this is triggered by site traffic. So when someone goes onto your website, they sign up to the pop-up on your email, they're going to go through the welcome flow. So the automations are triggered by site traffic, right? Now, the problem with this is, in order for me to generate site traffic, I've got to go to pay for it with Google ads or Facebook ads or Instagram ads, but they're too expensive for my budget at the time. Now, these are a good way to get traffic. Absolutely. I'm not saying you should not be doing paid ads, but at the time when you've got a small budget or you're a small brand, you don't have loads of budget for paid ads. And the thing is, if you don't have 35% of revenue being generated from your email marketing, you can run the best marketing campaigns or advertising as you want, right? But you're missing 30 to 60% of revenue. So it gets impossible. And you can also do organic social. This is good. This is one of my favorites, but you can't rely on it. You can't predict that traffic. You can't predict that. There's no metric where you can predict that. So this comes first before the automations. This is people shopping on your website. Now, my solution to this, right, and my realization, the thing that I discovered through many nights on my own, sat on a laptop in the dark, right, I realized that if I use email campaigns to generate traffic, right, these are near free to send, okay, and you're still sending customers down this automation flow. Now, if I have my welcome flow and it's 5 emails long, I send an email campaign, that's one email, and then over the next few days, they get 5 more emails. So total, they're getting 6 emails, and all I had to do was send 1 email. So that's creating a lot of leverage, and it's creating a lot of opportunities to buy, and it's giving a customer a lot of information. Now, so this is how it worked. This is how I started moving, right? My account was at least working and sending emails at this point, but I needed a way that I could consistently come up with email ideas, like campaigns, that could generate revenue. And I wanted to also send emails that are actually cool and suit my brand. Like, I didn't want to send these bullshit, like, sale 10% off everything emails all the time. Like, it's a fashion brand. You need to send something that's on brand. It needs to, every touch point your customer has, that's their perception of you, and you need to protect that. So I also wanted to trigger these automations so I could have 7 to 10 opportunities for that customer to buy, right? So I took these and I started adding more emails to the flows. And I also started increasing the amount of campaigns that I was sending so that I could trigger the amount of times that people could see my message. Now, this is a very important realization right here. This is the actual definition of advertising. So advertising is the paid promotion of products, services, or ideas to an audience to persuade them to take a specific action. So that means that your brand, whether you're sending Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, sending emails, flyers, TV, billboard, whether you're walking down to the end of your street and you're shouting your brand from the top of your lungs, it doesn't make a difference. Yes, there's more efficient ways to do things, right? But ultimately, all of these things are the exact same. You are presenting a marketing message and you are showing it to people, okay? That's all it is. Now, all of these things can work. All of these things could work. But if you're an independent brand owner, then you should focus on the one that is the cheapest, has the highest results, and can work mostly through automations to take some of the time off of your shoulders. Because look, when you're running your own brand, it's a lot of time. You've got to wear a lot of hats. You can't do everything yourself. You have to find the highest leverage form of marketing. And the reason why I say highest leverage is because you're paying such a little amount of money and time, but you're getting such a large amount of revenue and power because everything's automated. This is what happens when you build it out. So this is my exact system that I created. And feel free to pause this, copy this, but this right here, like I made millions in sales from following this right here. This wasn't the only place my sales came from. I did most of my sales through paid ads, right? But this system right here, this is what allowed me to unlock the profitability with the paid ads. This allowed me to increase my budget, right? So first thing, I had to fix my brand identity. Now, this is the important thing with fashion. So I created a voice for the brand and I spoke like my customers. I used the lingo of customers. So I was selling to like Gen Z, people sort of 18 to 30 mainly. Maybe someone's money for buying a gift, yeah. But I started speaking like my customers. I started using their lingo. I started using their slang because what I realized is everyone else is going corporate. All these bigger brands are going corporate. I'm going to speak like my customer. So I got a bit of a personal touch point. Next thing I did, I chose my brand colors to be congruent in my emails. That's with my website and my branding. So all of a sudden, people saw my emails, stood out, they knew what the brand was, they'd seen it before, and they could easily identify with what brand it is. And that was something that I carried out consistently throughout all my emails because it creates a better picture of your brand to a customer. The next thing I did was I focused on getting the most value out of my VIP customers. The reason why you need to focus on this is because you can send an email to 20,000 people. If those people are not qualified, they're not buying, cool. 20,000 people have seen your message, but it doesn't mean 20,000 people are buying. You could have 100 people that shop with you 3, 4, 5 times. That 100 people list can be worth more than the 20,000 people, right? And they can generate a lot more revenue. So I started focusing on this group right here and really tailoring offers in order to get the most revenue out of them guys as possible. The next thing is I spent a lot of time figuring out the main times when my customers buy. So I looked at the patterns, I looked at the time frames they should be receiving the emails, time frames I should be sending them. Because what you've got to realize is a lot of people watch Netflix at the same time. A lot of people finish work at 5 p.m. A lot of people go on the lunch at 12 o'clock. A lot of people have a Saturday off or a Sunday off. There's patterns, there's human behavioral patterns. And timing is a big thing because you're trying to get the best possible chance that they're seeing your emails. So you want it going out at the right time. The next thing I did, I strategically created offers that didn't weaken my brand. So what you see is most shit fashion brands, they're sending blast bullshit emails with bullshit offers that nobody flipping wants. So I got very clever with my offers and I created some very strong offers. The next thing I did, this is the second layer to it. So this is the campaigns, right? So what you've got to understand is, right here, what I'm showing you is, you can send one campaign out and then you're sending that customer as traffic to your website. When that customer's on your website as traffic, they're creating little things. They might be adding things to the cart. They might be browsing products and leaving it. They might be, they're doing all these different activities. Now, once they trigger an automation, then they're getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails. So when you send one campaign, that customer's then getting 7 emails. Now, if a customer that you've got off of a campaign, I hope you're following here, is then triggering the abandoned checkout, for example, you're showing them information to support the decision and the interest level that they've shown. So that's very important. That's how you can create a customer going down the funnel. Now, the power of this is it costs you next to nothing to do that, okay? And it's all automated, meaning you don't have to do it. You do not have to do it. The robots do it in the background, okay? So what I needed first was I needed as many opportunities to send customers down these automations as possible. And the good thing about email is the customers buy off the campaigns as well. So you're actually getting revenue from the campaigns, which is like the fishing rods, and then you're getting the revenue from the fish as well. So that's good. So what I did was I chose 5 main buckets of content, and that was seasons, community content, sale events, new drops and restocks, and about the brand. From these 5, I created multiple subtopics. So for seasons, summer holiday gifts, Christmas time, autumn wears, community content, it was this person styled this item like this, testimonials of real customers, linking my social media posts and actually put it on my emails. Sale events, you've got Christmas, Black Friday, Calendar Monday, Halloween, new drops and restocks, back in stock alerts, just landed. And, I'd send a back in stock alert for a product that's been in stock for months. It's not selling, but I'm just saying it's back in stock. Nobody knows, but it's a new angle for an email, right? It's a new angle. Then news about the brand. Then it'd be like info when we're doing a trade show, new staff hires. So they're seeing into the business, industry news. And you get so many emails from these. And when you look at things like sale events or seasons, right, you've got to see that there's actually a lot more than you think. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter, Eid, Christmas. There's so many. And when you start actually looking in and doing through this method of choosing 5 main buckets and then all the sub buckets or subtopics, you actually realize that you've got emails that are able to go out every single week, multiple times per week, for as long as you want, because they roll around every single year. And there is more than enough. Okay? But at least when you create this, you've got unlimited ideas you can do that are seasonally correct, they're timed properly, and they're taking advantage of times when products are shopped the most, like back in stock, like Christmas time, like Black Friday. Okay? Then what I did was I used these email campaigns to trigger the automations, but I didn't just do the core automations, I did every single automation, right? Every single one. And then I added extra emails onto the automation flows. So all of a sudden, I've got way more emails being able to go out, and I've also got way more automations available, and also way more emails on each automation. So you're creating this system of retention revenue, and you're triggering emails all the time, and the emails cost nothing to send. And it's just advertising. You're just showing customers your products. That's all. However you deliver the message, whether they see it on a Facebook ad, whether they see it on an email, it makes no difference. The reason why I prefer email is because it can trigger off of behavior. And that is the system that I created. That is exactly what I did. And look, guys, this is exactly the type of systems that we help install into your business at Smart Acquisition Academy. We've worked with brands like Baggies TV, Matt B Customs, and my own brand. You're actually going to speak to brand specialists here that specialize in fashion, not just some run-of-the-mill agency. And listen, if you think you're going to be a good fit, you can go ahead by booking a call using the link below. It's a free strategy call, an audit of what you're already doing. If we don't feel like you'd be a good fit, we'll keep everything open and transparent with you. But if you do want to have a chat, the link is there. You can book a call, find a time that suits you. I wish you all the best. Good luck with your brand. Subscribe to the channel. Have a good day. See you later, guys.